Oh, blimey, that is a bit bright. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Testing the audio. Testing audio. How are we doing? Okay, yep, seems to be good. Right, okay. Right. Just simply because I had to run a little update for OBS and even okay. Got something here. Good. How's the audio? Is it going okay? Because I had to update OBS, and I always get a bit concerned that every time I do an update, be it for Windows or OBS, we're good. Okay, fantastic. Good to know. Right. Let's get the usual preamble and nonsense out the way first of all. So everybody who is aware and who is new to the channel or the videos, there will be no audio or video from tonight's film shown on. This is literally a commentary chat watch along, hence BYOC, bring your own copy. We have the synchronized time, and again, we've got to make sure I'm lined up properly, which is basically there, and that there tells you where we are in watching the film, or in the case of a series like Fallout or whatever, the episode, so you can all sync it up fine, and everything is all, within like a couple of seconds, all lined up, which is also apparently helpful for when people are watching this on like the VODs or on the YouTube and stuff later. You can sync it up and you can pretend I'm waffling along with you whilst you're watching the film. Right, okay, so that's nonsense out the way. Last couple of days, sort of an apology, but I'm not going to apologise for being ill because I'm trying to get out of that habit. I understand why people are doing it, but it's unfortunately I had my first migraine in over 2 years. Anybody who knows me will know that I used to get them quite a bit up until about 2 years ago when some dental surgery accidentally fixed the issue. Fantastic, I thought. So it kind of caught me off guard when about 3 days ago I was feeling a bit, but part of me was thinking, oh, that feels like the beginning of a migraine. I don't get migraines anymore. Oh, did the universe have a surprise for me? It was a migraine that then very quickly progressed into a tension headache. So this morning, and I'm so glad it cleared up this morning because I had to go out. Got up and it was like literally like somebody had taken a vice off of my head in the middle of the night. It was almost like a religious moment. I'm like, there was that sort of, when you're sort of still in that sort of semi-dream state, you're awake, you're like, I'm going to have to wake up and face the pain soon. Okay, probably the meds are wearing off. Wait. Hallelujah. Still a little bit groggy. I tried to stand up earlier. I was like, oh, a bit wobbly, but that's just me standing up too quickly. But I am touchwood over the worst of it. Also, as well, these chat along streams and things like that are a lot more passive, so they're not like as intensive as like playing like a game or whatever. I'm not entirely sure if I can be playing this like Blood Bowl because I only ever planned mentally to be playing it for 1 week, and I'm thinking maybe it's one of those sort of ones that I was getting a little bit frustrated with, if I'm brutally honest. So, as I have said to others in the past, if I ever find myself getting frustrated with a game, I'm going to just walk away from it and come back to it at a future point. And I think that's what I'm going to play with Blood Bowl. I'm going to look for something else. I've still got quite a few other titles to work through. And honestly, it's not a bad game, but I think the issue was, I think that's when my migraine was starting to build up. Was why I was having difficulty concentrating and stuff like that on it. Should have realised that at the time, but 2 years since my last attack, so it happens. So over the weekend, I'll have to see if there's any other games I want to install and try out. I've got plenty to choose from, and I mean a ridiculous number to choose from. I might give the original thing I was going to do and have Fallout 4 with the crowd control mod, because that was one of my other original options as well. I couldn't get Fallout London working because there was just something weird, something I was doing wrong. But the crowd control mod is apparently a lot easier to set up. So I will look into that. Not a price, but I will look into it. Okay, so that's my personal announcements and stuff out the way. Tonight's film. Okay, so tonight's film is called Moon, and apparently it's going to be leaving Prime, because I'm using up my Prime subscription, in 30 hours. So I was just like, I need to tell people we're going to be watching Moon tonight. So I have seen this film before. My usual disclaimer, I have seen this film before, but it was it came out in 2009. So, and I saw it probably around probably around that same sort of time. So it is well within the statute of limitations of, if I've watched it within the last year, I don't watch it again. Like, things like Back to the Future, Lord of the Rings, some of the Star Wars films and things like that. All great films, but I watch them too often. This is one like I say, this was like, what, 14, say 15 years ago, and it honestly surprised me by how good this film is. Now, I've got to be very, very careful, because this is one that, unlike Arrival, where you can kind of give hints about what's going on and it doesn't actually spoil the film without anything, it enhances it. Arrival is such a good film. Okay, slight tangent for a moment. When we finished that stream last week, I was literally just sort of mentally decompressing, I suppose you could call it, because it's a film every time I've seen, like I saw it in the cinema, I saw it on DVD, and I saw it streaming, and every time I've watched it for like about a few minutes afterwards, I'm in that kind of type thing, like not depressive, no, far from it, but just more sort of especially when you realise after watching the film a second or third time how it all links up with, you're kind of sharing, Amy Adams' character's journey with that one. You know what's going to happen. You can't change it, or can you? So it's that. I kind of call it a time travel movie. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent, right? Moon. Okay, so Moon is a film that is basically set on the proverbial Luna, starring the most excellent Sam Rockwell, who he's one of those characters, or actors, I should say, not characters, who you've seen him in multiple films, and he's also in one of my other. I don't know if you can drop your dim. This is a good plan. He has been in one of my other favourites. I don't even know if you can technically call it a spoof, but if you've ever seen Galaxy Quest, he's in Galaxy Quest. He's the guy who plays, Guy Incognito, the one who thinks he's an extra that's about to be killed off and things like that. He's also plays, I believe, Justin Hammer in the Iron Man 2. I want to say, I think it's Justin Hammer. So yeah, he is one of those actors you've seen him in, and has been. He deserves way more recognition for his roles than he gets, and this, for me, I think is one of his better films, definitely one of his top tier films. I mean, on the IMDb, on the IMDb rating thing that's come up with here, it is rated as 7.8. which is for a sci-fi film pretty decent. I do operate on for me, a 5 is an average film. So for this to be, I'd probably put it more of an 8, but obviously they've got more of a rounding thing. But 7.8, yeah, I would agree with that. This is definitely a 7.8 and 8. I mean, on App Stars, it's also been rated like 4.4 out of 5 stars. So that's like what? 8.8 out of 10. Yeah, I would agree and say this is an 8 out of 10 film. But okay, I'm trying to think what can I talk about this without spoiling things. There is one. I mean, there is actually some really good characters and people in this. There is, like I say, there is Sam Rockwell. Unfortunately, and this normally I wouldn't really sort of spoil this kind of thing, but it's because one of the actors who is in this has fallen out of grace, shall we say. One Kevin Spacey, who up until a little while ago was considered to be, again, another top tier actor, but has been a very naughty boy. Yes. So the main reason why I mention it is because if you know what Kevin Spacey was accused of, it might be a bit upsetting to a few people. I'm not saying it to spoil the film, just to more sort of give people a heads up that it's like, he's in this film. Okay. But But we do make up for it with, as I say, not only the most excellent Sam Rockwell, there is Dominic McElliott, there is Kea Scodelio, I can never how to pronounce her name, some dude called Benedict Wong. Yes, that Benedict Wong. And again, the also top tier Matt Berry. Yes, that Matt Berry. Toast of London from, Renault from the IT crowd. I have never seen Matt Berry anything that I have not liked. Again, he's another one of those sort of. He's a very British, and he's got a very distinctive way of speaking. Yeah, that is very correct. Yes, he was in the Fallout show as one of the bots, and as himself, so to speak. So I mean, it wasn't Matt Berry; it was that universe's version of him. But yeah, he's one of those actors. Everything I have seen him in, I have always liked. And he was in a game which was absolutely hilarious called "Thank Goodness You're Here." Seriously, it's one of those sort of ones when you hear him, you're thinking, that character sounds like Matt Berry. Look in the credits. That's because it is Matt Berry. So yeah, great actor. And again, Sam Rockwell, brilliant. We've got our resident comics expert in the chat. It was Justin Hammer he played in. Yes, it's like, hello. Yes, it was Justin Hammer he played, wasn't it, in Iron Man 2? It was, thanks. I thought it was. I didn't want to sort of go on another page and check, because I'll just be if I go on one of those sort of ones, it's like delving into a rabbit hole. All right. Okay. So, before we start, I'm going to read out the little blurby bit. Sam Bell is nearing the completion of his Hail to the King. Yes, I saw that one. Yes, that was a good one. I say also in Galaxy Quest again. Seriously, Galaxy Quest, top tier film. If you like Star Trek or anything like that kind of thing, freaking watch it. It is great. So, Sam Bell is nearing the completion of his 3-year-long contract with Lunar Industries, not original, right? Mining Earth's primary source of energy. Yeah, because I think it's helium-free. Or something, which is like again another slight tangent. I think it's something to do with helium-free being really potentially good for fusion. I think it's not important. Just one of those random facts that just popped into my head. So, along with the only with a basis vigilant computer, Gertie, as his sole companion, Bell's extended isolation has taken its toll. He longs to return home, but a terrible accident on the lunar surface leads to a disturbing discovery that contributes to and ... And that's where it just, the thing runs out, there's not enough space. So make of that what you will. Right, okay, so what I'm going to do, what I'll do for every film is I'm going to do a 5-second countdown lead in, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And on go, I will start play, and the synchronized timer, and again it will probably be like within a second or so. If I do whiff it up, I will mention it and I will start again. I haven't done that once, but fingers crossed I don't do it again. Anyway, here we go. All right, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Excellent. So yeah, flashing images, violence, foul language, and sexual content. Sounds like a good Friday night. Oh yeah, but there's flashing lights in this and strobing patterns that might affect photosensitive views. And that's just a warning that's come up on the screen. Obviously, it's not going to affect this chat because no audio video is shown. But if you're watching this yourself independently, be aware there are flashing lights in this. Oops, excuse me. So, got some more cranberry juice. Called it. Yep, fusion energy. Yes, I was right. It was helium-free. I knew it. Yeah. Hmm. That's it. I don't remember the exact reason, but there's just something about helium-3 that that goes really well in fusion systems. Like, it's just, I mean, I could find out, but the basic gist of it, helium-3, very good for fusion. I've heard this music before outside of this film. I'm trying to remember where. I know I've heard it somewhere before. Oh, it's another interesting thing as well. Uh, the lunar regolith, or the dust that it, dust that is on the moon, is makes a very good concrete-like substance. Like, it's not exactly concrete, but it's like it has the same sort of properties, and it's actually, has a lot of other things about it as well. It's good. You could literally build the colony on the moon out of the moon itself. See, Matt Berry. Yes, as I say, yeah, Kevin Spacey as. Oh, I will try as also this weekend of as an aside. I'm gonna see if I can watch Alien Romulus before I start watching Alien Earth. I promised myself I would not watch Alien Earth until I've seen Alien Romulus. Yeah, I've definitely heard this music somewhere before. And I can't think where. I mean, maybe it's in this actual film from the first time I saw it, and that whole thing, where your memories get mixed up a little bit. Like, and that is actually really freaking good. Like, how that rover is just covered in regolith moon dust, because that's it. It's like it sticks to everything. Like, it's like highly static or something. I mean, honestly, I would love to go to the moon. I mean, hell, heck, I'd love to go to Mars, but Mars is like a years long journey. With current tech, we could go to the Earth in a couple of days. Clint Mansell, that's probably why I recognise the music. Humans. The more they change, the more they stay the same. Yeah, possible. And as somebody who has a very amateur interest in the sciences, specifically physics and astronomy, yeah, I'm thinking those are model models with the like the actual like big bulky stuff is probably the models, and the things like the dust particles and stuff like that is probably the CGI. Have definitely noticed that like it if you try and do everything CGI, it becomes dated very very quickly. But if you do, you have like a base model and then you like enhance it or jazz it up with CGI. The two look freaking amazing when you do both together. Yeah, like that dust particles stuff like that would be really really difficult. Not impossible, but really difficult to consistently do with practical effects. But that is what CGI is for. Plus, because it's on the moon, the light is going to look very slightly different to what it would be like when we were on Earth. because obviously different atmosphere. So the lighting would be odd. You know, the shadows would be a bit off. Yeah, 3 years on your own. Screw that. And I think the communication delay between the Earth and the Moon is something like only like a few seconds. Whereas like if it's like to Mars, it's something like, I think it's like 3 minutes, depending upon where Earth and Mars is in relation to each other. Because obviously, you know, and here's an interesting fact that a lot of people don't realise. Technically speaking, the Moon does not orbit the Earth. Technically speaking. It's almost like a dual planetary system. We kind of orbit around a central point. It just happens that the Earth also is orbited by Luna. That is such a... I mean, I know it's not in the same universe, but whenever I see logos like that, I just keep thinking of Weyland-Yutani. And that's how they get the stuff back to Earth. They basically put it in a magnetic accelerator. Oh, there's a bottom. And yeet it back to Earth. Yeah, was it the Moon's gravity is also like what's it, 1/6 of something of like what it is on Earth. You can adjust to it very, very quickly, but it's going back to Earth for him is gonna freaking suck. Because like he's been in like lunar gravity for 3 years, and he's gonna have to go back to Earth gravity. That is gonna suck. And we've made a little terrain set with lunar rugs. And that's one thing I did like how they did in the TV show The Expanse, when you had the Martians coming to Earth for the first time, and they just reacted badly to the gravity. You know, and they were born on the Mars. At least he's, you know, going to adjust, but it is going to be very unpleasant. I don't like the sound of that. God, it sounds like a breakup message, doesn't it? Oh, thank fudge for that. Ooh, I was getting worried there. No, it's more like she just genuinely misses him. Okay, that really did sound like the beginning of a breakup message. That's ah, that is pleasing. Yeah, you would need to have regular contact with people who you know and love on a 3 year mission like that, because otherwise you would go absolutely wibbly. Yeah, you know they sent one person up to save costs. Yeah, whoever's running the show up there is basically, you know, that's the entire operation. And that's one thing I would love to just experience, would be like, be on the moon and watching Earth rise. That's just like, yeah, baby. Are those dinner trays? Yep, there's a dinner trays he's using. I mean, that's actually does make a bit of sense. Don't want to waste them, and clean them up. They can make good containers. God, imagine what the ping would be like for an internet connection on the moon. God, that'll make playing like like doing your dungeon runs and things like that a little bit tricky. It's like, yeah, sorry, that's like, where the hell are you, on the moon? Yeah. And I think what another thing this feels like this is something that we can make and send up. Oh, he's tripping balls. I don't bloody want to. Oh yeah, they cut corners. They cut corners now. It's like, yeah, we'll send you up a TV. It's a black and white one. He's tripping balls. Maybe he's got space dementia. Yeah. Yeah, so just say whoever the company, whoever's running this, they sent up like the legal minimums. Like we've got to send up a TV for mental entertainment. We'll just get the old black and white crappy one in there. Oh, he's having naughty dreams or memory. Oh, that's like, I hate you, alarm clock. I was having a really good dream. But was it? I remember it's something like using modern costs. I can't remember the exact amount, but it costs something like, for every kilo, $10,000, or I can't remember the exact number. It's something ridiculous. That for every kilo of a thing you want to send up into orbit and beyond, costs $10,000, something like that. Yeah, for like fuel and cargo space and all that gubbins. So that's one of the reasons why this place looks very sparse. The things he has brought up are light, like the pictures and that's it. And that's the thing. It does actually kind of make sense to send what we would call an AI up with them. Yeah, what was that? There's weird shit going on. What's it like? One of the probe's names is like Luke scrubbed out Judas. I imagine that probe or mining carriers are a little bit temperamental. the suit just looks dirty, which is how it should be for a moon mission. See what I mean? Like, if you look at that, okay, the lighting looks weird. But it's the moon, there's no atmosphere. As you know, the great song says, it's cold outside, there's no kind of atmosphere. And that's how the particles are flying out, but they're not dropping, they're no gravity, yo. Again, I mentioned this before, but I very much appreciate it when sci-fi films at least make a nod towards realism. I don't expect them to be 100% realistic because it's science fiction, but at least making a, a nod towards it and be consistent. Like the rocks, or the heavier planets, they don't just drop there. That's somebody in the dust cloud. Well, that's a pickle. Yeah, you might want to put your suit back on. Or helmet even, sorry. Oh, yeah, and you're being buried alive. Fantastic. Oh, from all accounts, what's it? Neil Armstrong. Yeah, there's a bit. What do you call it? Oops. Like Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and stuff like that said that lunar dust, because it would have stuck to their suit and everything, apparently smells a bit like burnt gunpowder. Even the bot looks dirty and not really well maintained, which is great. Yeah, those things remind me of the or correction, I should say, the sand harvesters in Dune. Well, the spice harvesters, not sand harvesters. Because obviously, the spice harvesters were a lot bigger and had to worry about Shai Hulud. Ooh. Yeah, that is such a corporate logo on his gown there, isn't it? Like boring, simple, easy to do. Reminiscent of the crab logger and road laying machines from Thunderbirds. You know what? Thunderbirds had a lot of influence on people growing up. Obviously, from a certain age. So maybe not consciously, but subconsciously, yeah, that stuff's gone into people's brains. Even without hearing the voice, just seeing the captions, I just knew that was Matt Berry. And I think that was Benedict Wong as well. That's got to be easy for him as well, thinking his character's called Sam, he's called Sam. Fantastic. With one exception, every Sam I have met has been a really good person, with one exception. But hey. Has he got a sticker on his back saying "kick me"? Pardon me. Sorry. My apologies. This is why you don't send up just one person. You send up two or three. Because if you know your only engineer kicks the bucket, and he's supplying helium-3 for Earth. Hmm. Hmm. I do like the way that they're showing like the sun in its like full glory, kind of thing, like not diffused from an atmosphere. Hmm. Yeah, you're literally the only person on that. Well, you can't. It's not a planet; it's a satellite. But you know. Oh, that's terrifying. See, Benedict Wong, Matt Berry. Hmm. I mean, that is actually, if you think about it, that's actually a really big base just for one person. Makes me think they originally designed it with multiple people in mind, and when they, nah, it's good, we'll just send one. But it does feel very, very big just for one person. Ah, sabotage. Oh, I see what he's doing. Clever boy. Oh, that's very how, isn't it? I'm afraid you can't do that, Dave. That was a very how way of saying things. Although I maintain Hal was innocent. So, the film 2010, you know, dated obviously, but it's another very good one. And well, it's good in that it as a follow up to 2001. As a standalone film, it's a bit, but it does have some very good sequences in it. I will say that. I quite like it. Has one of my favorite movie quotes in it at the end. Yeah, that looks like a model, but again, just CGI. Hmm. Yeah. See, that's another interesting thing about the regolith is because of the way it is, and there's no atmosphere to wear it down or things like that. The imprint from Neil Armstrong's first set on the moon, sort of thing, is still there right now, as if it happened. That's it. That's the one. Yes, I freaking love that quote and what goes along with it. Use them together. Use them in peace. So it's one of the reasons why, again, as I said, I have an amateur interest in astronomy, and it's one of those sort of things that it's like, people joke about going to Europa, and I'm like, no, no, we do not go to Europa. We've got hundreds of other things we can do in the solar system. Leave Europa alone. Go to Titan. Titan's lovely this time of year. Oh, there's a skelly bum, I think. Or otherwise, there's definitely a body. There's a body. Curious. There's his body. Oh, I just suddenly thought of something. Maybe they have gravity plating in this. Yeah. What's going on? You see, this one's got the cut that he had before, whereas this other Sam doesn't. There's something afoot here. I mean, from a sort of narrative point of view, I can understand why they've done it, because it then becomes a very easy way to distinguish between the OG Sam and this other one. What's going on? Of course, now he thinks he's tripping balls. Which, considering he, if we assume this is the one we were dealing with earlier, he's been seeing things. Maybe he's thinking to himself, No. I'm now hallucinating myself. Fantastic. He's just getting better. Okay, now this sounds like a breakup message again. Yep, yep. This is a. She's taken off her ring. Or at the very least, she's having. If not breaking up, then she's having major doubts. Ah, good. They're showing he's doing exercise. That will help in going back to Earth and stopping the muscles degrading. I can never pronounce that word. Begins with an A. I want to say atropifying, but that's not the right idea. Hmm. Yeah, I mean that's pretty fair, dude. You're so. Like I say, I have seen this before, so I know what's going on. But like I always say, the if you've seen this before, no, you haven't. It's not until afterwards. So yeah, the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm thinking that the reason why I've heard this music before is because I have heard it before, and it's in this film that I've heard it before. I am gonna have to quickly check that because it is bugging me. Yeah, I'm thinking it is actually. Yeah, I probably have. Like I say I have heard it because it's. I've seen this film before, and it's Clint Mansell, and he's probably done. I've probably listened to it on one of his albums or something. Yeah, based on what I was saying earlier, getting that chair and table up onto into a lunar, assuming that they're legit and they're not like replicated or anything like that, that would have been expensive. Look at that chair there. Yeah, he said about a week. I mean, if also, I would say the plant thing, very good idea to bring plants with you because one, psychological thing, caring after plants is a good psychological thing. They respond well to people talking to them. They can help to purify the atmosphere. Not a lot, but they can help. And in an emergency, they can be used, depending upon the plant, as food. Very good thing to bring with you. Very good idea. Expensive, but good. Yeah, it's very weird. You're talking to somebody who looks just like yourself, and you know you're not a twin. Yeah, wants to make sure it's real. Yeah, which one's the OG one? Which one is the I mean, we could always go by the concept that because we saw him first, he's the original one, but that doesn't mean anything. It just means he's the. Yeah, I mean that's obviously some kind of like split screen there with the line going across the ping pong table, basically. So that's the thing. If I would try to figure out at what point, if they are clones, the memories diverge. Because obviously, if there's some kind of like genetic memory going on between them, there would be a point where obviously the memories would diverge, assuming they both have the same set of memories. Yeah, so you're starting to establish you have got shared memories, which is good. Because again, if you assume that this is like your direct clone, they're going to think like you, they're going to act like you, they just have a different set of memories. He's good. He's been thinking it's like, yeah, you know, the I'm going to call him the OG Sam till we know otherwise or whether that you know it's like he's adapting to it more, but whereas the newer Sam is more like, what's going on? The Jupiter program. Oh yeah, there's two of them. Who goes back? Didn't answer. Even the captions are calling him like Sam 2 and things like that. The reason why I like to have subtitles on is just for little bits like that. There you go. That's a very good point. So you got the fresh faced rookie who's not not been sort of ground down metaphorically speaking, and the experienced version. Hmm. Yeah, he's making some good points. So yeah, you got the guy who's only been there for a few weeks versus the guy who's been there for a few years, and they're the same person. It's a very good way of handling it. The sort of fresh-faced rookie version of like maybe this is what Sam One was like when he arrived here. Oh, that's very 2001, that corridor, isn't it? There's got to be some nods towards that in this. That and the Alien film. You just know the designers have definitely put that in a sort of, if somebody calls them out and go, yeah, of course I did. It's a homage to some very good films. No, I would. Very 2001, very alien. Exactly, yeah. There is that kind of. I mean, it's like the irony of Star Trek. Star Trek, had no like, the digipads and things like that. Some of the watch them's like, huh, we could make those. Just get like an iPhone and make it bigger. Boom, you have the iPad. Inspired by something in Star Trek. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah. Oh, that. Also, I think there is something about hexagons being a sort of good compromise between That Aww. Like, it's something about like the way that they're structured. It makes it good for certain you know, buildings and structures and stuff like beehives, for example. So I think I have that rug. That's the dude's rug. Ooh, that's a lot of claret. Yeah, yeah, that's a lot of blood. Oh, if he is a if he's a clone. Oh, because that's like a common thing with clones is, especially if they've been aged rapidly, they don't last long. So maybe his cells and body's starting to degrade. Ooh, that's a very common trope in think of in sci-fi of having, you know, live fast, die young kind of thing. You know, of course, it could just also be because he's weaker. If he has been on the moon for um okay, so we've got two hypotheses here. One, he is a clone and he's degrading, or the second one is he's just been on the moon for so long, his body's starting to break down because there's no atmosphere to protect him from all the radiation and all that gubbins. Ideally, if you are going to have a base on the moon, you would have it underground. Ideally, I mean, you've got to dig out a big hole. So that's our two hypotheses right now. He is a clone and he's degrading, or he's just really, really weak. But there we go. Emojis. Ah, good for. Hmm. Yeah, I am getting very Hal vibes from this entity, but not because of Hal is innocent, and if you watch 2001, 2010, you'll understand that. But this is like a bad Hal, a naughty Hal. Like the other. So he, damn. So they are. That is his daughter, but not his daughter. The OG Sam. That's gotta be. find out you're a clone and not the original. You are a clone of how many? So Sam 2 was right. I mean, you're the older clone for sure, but you're still a clone. That is a lot of blood. Which does lend me to the whole, yeah, he's a degrading clone. Because if they've been rapidly aged from gestation, for want of a better term, I was just, oh yeah, it's basically a sleeping, what do we call it? Sleeping suit. The reason why Tess left him. Yeah, it's like, how would you react if you met your younger self? And how would your younger self met if they an older version of you? I mean, yes, possible from the moon. It's like, yeah, a second or so difference. It's very easy to have a. Hmm. Hmm. Curious. So yeah, even like I say, even though like I said, I knew about the whole clone stuff obviously because I have seen this film before. It's been a long enough time that it's like I can't remember how they resolved the film, but certain instances are happening. I'm like, oh yeah, that's yeah. And now there's two of them. Yeah, I really like how they're doing the lighting and the shadows on this. Like how when it's in the sunlight, it is bright. And obviously, when it's in the dark side, it's Hollywood darkness. So we can see things. But, you know, paradoxically, you would get one heck of a view of the universe from the dark side of the moon. You would see the Milky Way in its full glory. And that would be amazing. And that's one of the reasons why I want to go to the moon. Yeah, if I ever win like a mega lottery or something, I will. Yeah, I'll fund NASA. There we go. Hmm. Why is this out here? Yeah. Hmm. Why would they have a very odd transmitter type thing? He looks messed up, doesn't he? Yeah, I'm definitely starting to, yeah, I am definitely starting to think that the his clone. Yeah, oh yeah, he's just yucked up in his helmet. That's not good. And that was a bit of ketchup. Hmm. So I'm just looking at the starscape in the background, and I'm actually recognizing certain constellations as well. I'm pretty sure I just saw Orion. I would love them to build like a proper like telescope. Imagine something with like the ability, power, whatever you want to call it, of like say the James Webb, but stationed on the moon, so it can do a lot more. You know, have more power, have more systems, have a massive radio antenna. That would be God. The images that could send back would be amazing. Ooh, yeah, that's unpleasant. Ew. No, oh, no, no, don't do what you think. I think you're gonna do. No. Oh, yeah, he's just done what? Yep, yep, yep. His tooth's come out. Fantastic. Oh, lovely. Yep, that's pretty messed up. And it's a molar. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. His body's degrading. Yeah. Thank fudge they didn't actually show him taking it out. I will. But I mean, honestly, it's a good way of showing like radiation poisoning type effects because it's a common it's a common thing. You know, your weakest points are going to go first, and yeah, that's also people generally know that if that's going to happen, something's going very wrong with your body. So, so I will give them that. At least they did not actually show him removing it. Ugh. Oh, and Gertie's helping. Interesting. Well, it looked as there was like at least 15 years on there. Yeah, that sounds like either radiation poisoning. Oh, oh, oh no. Yeah, yeah. It seems like we've just had the same thought at the same time. Yeah, that's not a that's not a transport pod. Well, maybe it transports him to Valhalla, maybe, but not. back to Earth. Yeah, that's a vaporizer. Mm-hmm. Oh, oh, I've just had an unpleasant thought. Rescue. It's not a rescue. Yeah, yeah, it puts you into a deep sleep, all right? The deepest of sleeps. Oh, this is cruel. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's basically a yeah, that's a we call it vaporizer, disintegrator, something along those kind of lines, whatever you want to call it. Why would you want to have a pesky clone going back to Earth? Yeah, a super microwave, basically. Except it doesn't cook the food, it disintegrates it. I mean, yeah, it's cooked, it's just. Mm. Oh, that's. Yeah, it's just like, oh, yeah, there goes the old alien reference again. So, yeah, this is such a good film. Like, it's like, because it has been long enough, it's like, I am not consciously aware of what's going to happen next, but my subconscious definitely is. Hmm. Oh, interesting. There'll be a letter. I mean, think about it. Not not including Kevin Spacey. There's only like 4 people in this film, starring in this film, and Sam's playing 2 of them. Smart, in case it's some kind of like laser grid. Smart move. I think at least he waited until Sam 2 came. Well, his younger self. No, I'm gonna call him Sam 2. Oh, that's a lot of. That looks like a mortuary or storage area, which would make sense if it's right below the super microwave. I imagine it probably doesn't do a total disintegration. And they've got the clones on standby. Yep, so it's a storage unit. Right, lovely. It looks like it goes on for ages. That also explains why the base is a lot bigger than it needs to be. because it's a plausible way of explaining weird telemetry or base signals. It's like, why is our foundation like 5 times bigger? Because the base is like that. If you had like a tiny base and a really massive, sub basement, you're going to run the risk of things being found a lot easier. Especially like if you're doing like mining operations and things like that. But if the base itself is big, perfectly covering the storage area, you're not going to worry about that. You're just going to think, base was designed for a lot more people. Yeah, it's a bit weird, but Excuse me. I'm still a bit sus about Gertie. I mean, that's like when it's in the bright zone or the light side, it is like, you're getting like the full concentrated power of the sun. But when you're on the dark side of the moon, it's pitch black. Oh, here's an interesting, amusing fact. Well, I say fact. I'm hoping this is true. I can't remember which Apollo mission it was, but it was the one that went around the dark side of the moon for the first time. And I really hope this is true. Oh, she's grown up. Oh. I'll come back to my point once this scene's over. I think this is important. God, that's... Oh no. So this mission's been going on for at least 15 years. Oh. Oh. The OG Sam. So he managed to go back. Oh, that's... Did he even leave Earth in the first place? And they... Oh man, that is... Before this thought leaves my brain, yeah, there was a rumor that when I'm going to say the Apollo 12 astronauts, I think it was, it's probably the wrong one, but when they went around the dark side of the moon for the first time, apparently one of them wanted to report that they saw a giant black monolith. And I really hope that's true. That they wanted to do that. But then the mission commander went, no. Yeah, really hope that's true though. Yep, one with the experience, teaching his younger self. You got to turn him, dude. He is you. You are him. You clones. You're basically closer to twins. Just like really genetically close. In fact, identically close. apart from your memories. Mm-hmm. He plays this. He plays these two like they're the same person, but like no, at different life stages. So damn well. It was the Apollo 8. Okay, thank you for that. Yeah, I couldn't remember which one it was, but I knew it wasn't like Apollo 13. Um, yeah, I really, really hope that as a rumor was true because it just makes me giggle. Yeah, his body is, like I say, either degrading from being a clone or he's got radiation poisoning. Yeah, I had a feeling it was going to be a rumor, but there's some rumors that you think are like, oh, I really wish that was true, but it still makes me it makes for a nice story if nothing else. Because let's be honest, if I was that Apollo 8 mission, I'd probably want to do that myself. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of those sort of rumors and things like that associated around the space program. Of course there is, but that one's my particular favorite. That's like mainly because it's exactly the sort of thing I would do myself. And then never go on an Apollo mission ever again as I get fired. And now he knows. So if we assume, yeah, the pregnancy pictures, they have the OG Sams. So if we assume Eve was born around the same sort of time, so this has been going on for at least 15 years, maybe even longer. Which is why he's getting the memories, because they're implanted memories from, or copied memories from Sam Zero, as it were. Yeah, your uncle is like, well, shit. Ah, yes, humans outsmarting AI. Hmm. That is a surefire way to get fed up with a song, just having it as your alarm music. Ooh, that's a lot of ketchup. Yeah, his body's breaking apart. I mean, maybe these clones only have a lifespan of 3 years, or perhaps they would have lasted longer if they weren't on the moon, sort of thing. Well, maybe it's a combination of the two. That is one of the big things people would have to worry about a long time. And hell, even the astronauts and stuff like that on the International Space Station have to be careful because of basically radiation poisoning and muscle degradation. Again, that word I kind of remember, atrophy, I think it's called, where basically in a weakened state your muscles start to degrade and your body doesn't like it. It was not designed to work in zero gravity. Oh, that's good. That's good. How to do the interactions between the two versions of him. I can kind of see the like the merging of the things, but that was really good how they did that scene. Yeah, so I mean, to be fair, this is a 15-year-old film, so you can just about see where it happens. And again, you can kind of see it in this scene as well. It has that sort of like the lighting is just fractionally off between the two. Like it's not a huge amount, but it's enough to make your brain go, hmm. But okay, for a 15-year-old film, and obviously we're probably watching it on higher resolution than it was designed for. It works. So it's a mine. It is in no way a complaint whatsoever. It's just a oh yeah, that's how they did it. It's like we know when you watch like a magician doing their illusions, and you know how they've done it, but then you're like, oh yeah, that's how they did it. Oh, cool, cool. It's that kind of level of thing. Not you're like the rabbit's in his head. Yeah, you can't order poo in for 3 days, mate. Hmm. Now, here's an interesting moral question. If they are clones, at what point do they become human? If they are just essentially blank genetic material waiting for to be awoken, are they just if they've never had a conscious thought or anything else like that, are they human? Or, are the memories put into them as part of the awakening process? Or things like that. So it's an because obviously if they are essentially, and this is going to sound a bit crude, but if they're just basically like long pigs, so to speak, then from an ethics standpoint, yeah, it makes perfect sense to send the clone out to be rescued. But if they're fully sentient or sapient beings, yeah. Also, yeah, him in that state going back to Earth with his increased gravity would probably kill him, and higher atmospheric pressure than probably what he's used to. So from a health point of view, Sam 2 is the better choice. But again, from an ethics point of view, what about all the other clones? Do they wake them up? If they are essentially just complicated bacon until they get the memory implants, then what do you do with them? Because there's no way they're going to have the resources to wake all of them up at once. Such a well done film. Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's some iffiness about the whole, again, sci-fi, science fiction, but it's a story and it's a good story, I think. And I think that is ultimately what I want from any film or sci-fi or fantasy film. I know they're not going to be perfect. I want to be entertained for X amount of time. I, ideally, I want the story to be good as well. It doesn't have to be amazing. It just has to keep my brain occupied or thinking or talking about it. So yeah, they obviously have the same memories, which makes sense up to a certain point. But again, it's at what point though? That's the question. Is it before, like, are the clones made there, grown, whatever you call it, or are they just like all uploaded there and frozen with their memories intact? Man, that is rough. Yeah, he's gone. Oh man, that is freaking rough. Like, it's you, but it's not you. You gave him one last good memory. Is he just sleeping, or was he just actually? He sounds like he's still breathing. Phew. Yeah, he hasn't gone long. 'Cause, yeah, that's it. That has got to be such a mind, like seeing an entity that you know is yourself, but it's not you. Basically, watching yourself die, knowing what you know that you're not the person you thought you was. That you know that your memories are fake. That is, I mean, because you think about it, many times in sci-fi films, we always see like the protagonist encountering their clone and stuff like that. But I think this is the only film I have seen. There's probably more out there that handle this, where the protagonist is the clone, sort of thing, or protagonists, I suppose I should say, because it's two. Oh, I mean, if I'm gonna go staring out into the universe like that, give me a whiskey, park me at the edge of the universe. Yeah, that's how I want to go. Yeah. Rescue. Hmm. Yeah, I'm still trying to work out at what point. Again, the whole thing with the clones is, and I know I'll keep thinking I've just latched onto it mentally, but how? Yeah, Gertie, you shouldn't have said that, mate. You bas Oh, there is that. Hmm. Oh, clone's waking up. Oh, he's gonna have a freak out. So, so this is Sam 3. So obviously that's Sam 2. We can call this one Sam 3. I'm getting a bad vibe. I can't put my finger on it. But there's something's ticking at the back of my brain. I don't like where this is heading. I mean, technically, you were programmed with false memories, so. And everything's powering down. And here comes the cleaning crew. 8 minutes. Yeah, they're not the rescue crew, they are the cleaning crew. Nice music change there. Yeah, he's just like, what? Yeah, he's thinking about clone free. Well, I say clone free, there's obviously been more than 3 clones, but for the purpose of this film, that's the 3rd clone. Where is it? Oh, he's changing direction of him. Yeah, that is ominous. I mean, that ship's like that's a big ship as well. Hmm. Hmm. Cavalry. Hmm. So it's probably going to take about a day or two to get back to Earth. Oh, he's still alive. At least he stayed on long enough to see the pod go out. That's fair. I'm respect him for that. Yep. Because he knows he's going to die anyway, no matter what happens. Or maybe he already has gone. Hmm. Yeah. Bag him up. Hmm. Excuse me. I hope that's got some kind of controlled re-entry system, or otherwise this is going to be a very rough landing. Oh, I see what he's doing. Yet to take down the smart move. Oh, live feedback. Oh, very good. He's taken the company down. Very good. Clone 6. And of course, there's conspiracy theorists. Always a conspiracy theorist. Always. Right, there we go. That was Moon. Yeah, it's. I'm quite glad I sort of saw that this one was going to leave in about 30 hours from the thing, so like less than a day. So I'm like, yeah, let's go with that. It's a good film, and I kind of wish they did like show a little bit more. I mean, they talked about it. It's obvious what's happened. He turns up, you know. Why are there two Sam Bells who are genetically identical? I mean, he is basically walking Exhibit A, and you say he was clone 6 that awoken. So, yeah, I mean, if you think about it, a 15-year mission every 3 years or so. Yeah, that'd be about right. So, yeah, about 15 or so years, 15, 16 years. There may have been 17 years, I may have misread it. But yeah, it's. Oh, I need to stop that now. And yeah, that was Moon. Again, played most excellently by Sam Rockwell. Unfortunately, there was other person in it, but we won't talk about that. I'm trying to think what was going to be going on for next week. I'll say, because I was definitely getting a little bit frustrated with Blood Bowl. Good game, but I think it was just one of those. Yeah, I was definitely getting frustrated. So I'm going to look over the weekend to try and see if there's any the next was on my list I want to play. It was a trial, and it could, you know what, it's one of those ones I probably could come back to and play again at some point. That's why I was trying it, just to see if I can get on with it. Not entirely sure what it will be, but I will probably, like I said earlier, go with Fallout and the crowd control mod, because if I can get those two working together, and I think it's a lot more simple instructions, because I think it is just a basic sort of like mod to install, but that is fun, because basically you can use your channel points to influence the game. Once you get into, once you get into the game proper, so once you get into the nuclear wasteland, then you will be able to start, if anybody who watches it will be able to sort of use your channel points or buy coins. Yes, I would get a commission, but if you've been watching this channel long enough, you've probably got some points to burn, and you can do things like make the game easier for me, like maybe spawn some ammo, or you could be a complete dingleberry and spawn in something else. So that first day, that's Tuesday, will be a test thing to see if I've got it set up properly. So it will. I'm giving this as a warning, because that's quite a few channel points. It'll be because I've never used crowd control before. A lot of people have, and it is a very good system. It has a default level, but if you want like the really advanced features, like to really tweak settings and things like that, then yes, you would have to pay the premium subscription, which is perfectly fine, because you can still use the base one, not a problem. But no, if you want to say, and again, I'm just going to pull my number out my head, but here, like say for example, in Fallout 4 to summon a Deathclaw is like, say, I don't know, let's say 500 points. You may think, yeah, I don't want that happening every 5 minutes. I'm going to push the points up to, like, say, 2,000. You won't be able to do that. You can only use the default settings with it. But from all accounts, that is actually still good enough, and I think there's like a cooldowns and stuff like that on there. So you have all the base features, but if I paid for the premium subscription, I would have a lot more customization and tweaks for it. But honestly, that is really, have no problem with that, because they give a decent free option. So if people want to spend that little bit extra just to tweak things, rock on. And they are adding new games to it all the time. But no, I'm just very quickly going to have a look on their thingy as well, because it's quite good. So they have different. Obviously, they have different. What do you call it? Where is it? I need to go to the home. There we go. So yeah. They call it the Pro thing, and there's like a Twitch like a plugin I have to set up and things like that. Let's just see what games they have. So yeah, they have like GameCube games. They have PlayStation games. But obviously, I'm going to be playing on the PC. So looking, let's just have a look. Why is that? Do I need to log in? I think I need to log in. Yeah, for some reason the thing's not the what do you call it? I'm doing something wrong here, but yeah, there's quite a few different games you can have on there. I will tinker with it over the weekend. There may be a test stream on. This is not guaranteed, but there may be a test stream on Monday. If I do, it will probably be just to sort of make sure everything's set up properly, or what will be more likely to happen, I'll do it on Tuesday. So expect Tuesday to be a little bit rough around the edges whilst I make sure everything is set up correctly. Because I do play Fallout with mods, and I want to make sure that this mod works first. Oh, Darkstar, interesting. Oh, that's wow, that is an old film. Yeah, it is reasonably easy to set up. It's just time consuming, and I just gotta make sure I do it correctly, because it's like I say, it's a different way of working with things. But it is. I mean, the Pro thing isn't that bad. It's like monthly. It's like what, $8 or something like that, and you get like gift effects. You can have like durations, auto claim free coins, early access to new games, and there's like a premium one. So there's I do not have a problem with their monetization, because they have a reasonably decent free plan for it. That's something you need to always be considerate of. This is not just in for games, but for anything in general. Ask yourselves, if it's a free product, where do they make their money from? If it's from premium subscriptions, and those are like, okay, yeah, I can see it's a fair charge, that's where they make their money from. If there's no premium subscription, or if it's only for like ridiculous levels, you're like, that's, yeah, Then basically, if it's free, then you become the product. But also as well, it's a marvelous way of getting people to, like, you see a streamer that's playing with crowd control, and you're streaming yourself. I mean, a few of the streamers I follow have been doing this, and I've been wanting to do it for a while. I've just not got around to doing it. So I'm going to give it a go. Just like, yeah, as I say, it's going to be, in fact, the more I think about it, the more it is going to be Tuesday rather than Monday. Yeah, it's going to be a bit rough on Tuesday, because, like I say, I will not be able to like activate the stuff until I complete the introduction. But once that introduction is done, all hell's going to break loose, and I thoroughly expect it to happen. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Also, I want to try and find the old build I used, because that was really freaking good. But yeah, it's going to be interesting going back to the Fallout one. If I can't play Fallout London, I will play the OG Fallout, and I think I have the complete collection. I think, like, because there was like several expansions and other bits and pieces. But I will find out and say over the weekend I've got to install it, everything else like that. But I am now starting to waffle because I'm getting tired. So I'm just going to say goodnight. and hope everyone has a good weekend. Good night.